April 3rd, 1916. I know you'll find this interesting. We had great trouble convincing General Staff to finance this project, but as ever, you can rely on my powers of persuasion. The lab must be exclusively for the Army's use when all this is over, and not for the civilian population. I'm sorry, but that was the agreement. I can't claim to understand how you'll be using all this equipment, but you know I have total faith in you. With the support we're giving you now, everything should work out well. Let me know if anything goes wrong, or if you need any more help. The equipment will be sent within a couple of hours of my dispatching this note. I wish you all the best. It's simple. We need that vaccine. Your friend, Hans.
April 7th, 1916. Everything is progressing on time, thank you. I know that feeling when everything starts to blur and all you see are images you can't make sense of. I don't envy you. The responsibility day after day must be killing you. You once asked me why I chose to be a doctor and not a military man. Now you have your answer. Sooner or later, all the world's secrets will be buried under the corpses of ordinary soldiers. No, I'm not saying the civilian population should have access to everything we have, but surely to some part of it. That's only natural. This plague in the field is deadly serious, and I am going to stop it. It shouldn't take me more than a few weeks to develop the cure and deliver it to you at the fortress you mentioned last time. I know you need every spare man, and so I shall deliver the antidote myself. Yes, that's right, Hans. Leave everything to me. Funny, isn't it? Years after we left our childhood village, some things never change. All the best, Jonas.
April 12th, 1916. I greatly appreciate your role in all this. You remember when my father took us fishing, Jonas? The ice was thin, and I could hardly swim at the time. Afterwards you told me, everything must die eventually, but not today. Those words are truer than ever now. I won't leave my men dying in there. Bring me the cure personally, if that is your wish. In fact, your expertise in administering the vaccine will be of much value at this end. I am more grateful than ever. Your friend, Hans.
May the 14th, 1916. The first part of the serum has been isolated. A cure for this type of disease is never easy, but we are trying. If anything, the process is proving less complicated than I first feared. I'm aware of your last position, but please give me more information on the layout of the fortress. Also, is it really necessary for you to pull out of there? Surely the British troops won't launch a full-scale attack. They don't have enough healthy men. Jonas.
Dear friend, along with this letter I am sending you some blood and skin samples from soldiers who have died from the disease. And that's not all, my friend. I've accidentally discovered something that may be of even greater interest than the disease itself. 2 days ago, one of my lieutenants, Johann Schöpe, who's a fine soldier and a very decent man, brought me an amazing ancient sculpture. It's made with a strange red crystal that the regular troops have named Stones of Fury, or, if you'll forgive the language, lucky bastards. It turns out the men collect these things and have been doing so without anyone from HQ knowing for months. I have to say, Schöpe didn't seem to be quite himself, but he told me that one of our platoons discovered the first artifact while they were digging in the mud, building trenches. The soldiers started to notice that anyone carrying the artifact becomes faster, stronger, more aggressive. They claim they even become bulletproof, which of course, I simply will not believe. But I know for a fact that some soldiers have gone totally mad. Hence the talk of this fury, ripping enemies apart with their bare hands. I have no idea what's giving them such power. But I have many confirmed reports of battles becoming more and more violent. Our boys simply rush straight in and fight, using bayonets, knives, fists even. I shall send you a sketch of the artifact, and some others that I've seen. The whole thing is a mystery to me. I thought you might be the man to figure out exactly what these objects are. Yours truly. May 23rd, 1916. My orders arrived quickly, and they were simple enough. Defend the fortress at all costs. The English didn't let up, and Scottish regiments had joined the attack. We were surrounded. Every time we pushed them back, they just kept coming. Relentless as the plague. Some joke, hey? What's the latest news on the vaccine? Have you begun phase 2 yet? Your friend, Hans.
June the 4th, 1916. Yes, phase 2 is underway, but it is complicated, and patience is the only answer. I'm as frustrated as anyone, but I know we're nearly there. The pressure isn't helpful, though. High Command never let up. They've no idea how complex these things are. How can you work with a gun at your head? I'd appreciate it if you'd pass my sentiments on to the powers that be. Use that silver tongue you're always boasting about. Jonas.
Dear friend, your work is very important to me, and I regret not being on hand to assist you directly in your research. Here's the next set of samples. I'm sure you will find them even more astonishing than those I sent previously. If I may make a specific request, could you please test how the samples react to a high-voltage stimulus? Auto contact with acid or any form of poison. It may sound unlikely, but I'm convinced that soldiers who have the disease also become more and more aggressive. I would go so far as to say they become lost to some uncontrollable rage. They are, of course, of no value to us in this state. Some seem to lose their orientation entirely and attack everyone in sight. As such, we must find a way to treat them, or even, I'm sorry to say, a method of killing them. I know that sounds cruel, but as these men are beginning to pose as much of a threat to us as the enemy, there really is no alternative. Best wishes, Field Marshal H. Menge. June 12th, 1916. The answer to your skillfully unasked question is no. I can't do everything. Walk on water, fight back with limited manpower, instantly cure the plague. This fortress is all we have right now. And I'm afraid it won't last much longer, with half of every single regiment struck down by this hellish disease. We are sacrificing so much. Everyone is doing their duty. But I don't think we can hold out for long. There was a massive attack from the south last night. General Staff can give you all the details. But now I know what our strategy must be. Break through the lighter British defenses and attack their encampments from the rear. It may prove impossible. But I'm not a novice. I know my job better than those pen pushers in Berlin. Striking out is our best form of defense. But they don't understand that it cannot be achieved in a single night. Hans.
July the 21st, 1916. That's precisely what I told them the last time they pressed me for news on the vaccine. Hopefully news supplies will reach you by rail before long. I know the odds are stacked against you there, Hans, and that you are losing too many of your best men. But the price of war must be paid. Everyone has to die someday. Above all, I regret that holding that fortress seems to be more about politics than warfare. Simply digging in and fending off the enemy, it's so unspectacular, and we both know you were born for better things. Jonas.
August 24th, 1916. I'm so relieved we have a date for your arrival. You must hurry now. Our superiors will not accept failure. As the days pass here, I feel more and more alone. Our spies report that British regiments have crossed the river and are heading straight for us. I can see absolutely no reason why anyone should be so interested in this pile of old ruins, built in a hurry and abandoned after the first airstrikes. I know you have spoken to High Command. Believe me, if this was about defending gas supplies or munitions, I'd be the first to throw down my life for the place. Hans.
August the 26th, 1916. The first supplies of the vaccine should arrive tomorrow, and rest assured, I will be right there with them to make sure things go as smoothly as planned. Reports from the field leave no room for doubt. We must deliver the cure to your current location immediately. Jonas. Dear Sir, sadly I have nothing to report. I have tested the samples as requested and found nothing of particular value to us. When treated with acid, the skin simply melts, and high voltage fries it, as would be the case with normal healthy skin. Simply put, I'd conclude that people who are infected can be killed just as easily as those who are not. As yet, I cannot advise you on a treatment, let alone provide you with a vaccine. It's possible that the psychological changes you mentioned are the result of prolonged periods of pain being suffered by those infected. Alternatively, the brain itself is potentially infected in these particular cases. I need to undertake further research before I can be certain either way, and for this I must request a new batch of samples. As to the situation at the front, I quite agree, sir. Good cognac wins wars. Jonas.